Good morning, my beautiful friends, and welcome to our daily devotion. So, this morning, our devotion is called Doing the Right Thing, and it comes from Matthew 5:10. And it says, "Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." In some places around the world, Christians are brutally persecuted because of their faith in God. How would you respond to such persecution? Would you stand firm for your faith? Hopefully you will never have to deal with persecution at this, but you may find that some people are prickly with you because they know of your Christian walk and it makes them uncomfortable. Will you stand firm for Jesus? Stand firm. Don't compromise Jesus to make other people more comfortable. Wow. So that's kind of a tough question. What would you do if our country persecuted Christians? Would you stand firm in your faith? Would you stand up for, would you still believe in God? Would you follow Christ? Would you let people know that you follow Christ? Those are some very difficult questions to answer. Now, thank God we don't live in a country that outright persecutes Christians. But I do feel that some of our freedom from being a Christian and talking about God has been kind of stripped away some things. They're making it harder, to spread the Christian faith in some places. However, that's the way it is. But we still have the freedom. We still can talk. We still can share. We still can meet. We can go to church without fear of being arrested or beaten, So we need to make the most of this. And we need to pray for our Christian brothers and sisters who live in other countries who are really persecuted for their beliefs. But the hard thing is, today in the world of political correctness, do you become politically correct and compromise your faith? Now, that's a question that we all face in America as a Christian. Because, people are saying that they're afraid to say, well, that's wrong. That's sin. That's wrong. And when we don't recognize sin for what it is, we're compromising our faith. We may not realize it. So, I have a lot of friends that have different lifestyles and things, and they know how I feel about it. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to love a person. Of course I am, because they're my friends. And I would never not be friends with somebody because of what they believe or how they live their lives. But if they ask me, I'm going to tell them the truth. I'm not going to compromise my beliefs in order to be politically correct. And, that's a hard thing. It is a hard position to be in. But if you're going to follow Christ, you have to determine, you're going to have to purpose in your heart. Am I going to follow Christ fully? Or am I just going to follow Christ unless it doesn't cost me anything? When it starts costing me something, I am not gonna do this anymore. And so you really need to purpose in your heart ahead of time what you're gonna do, how you'll handle situations, and that. I really try not to hurt people's feelings. I try not to, say anything, whatever. But that seems harsh. But when people ask me what I think about something, and it goes against what I believe, I'm gonna tell them the truth. And yes, I have lost friends because of it. One of the hardest things I think that I've gone through, other than the fact that, I've been married twice. So, lost my first husband, but my second husband walked out on me because of my faith. Because he said I had to choose between God being number one and him being number one. I couldn't put God first. He thought that was wrong. It was okay for me to be a little bit Christian, but not get carried away with it. And so he gave me the ultimatum, and he walked out of my life. And that's hard, but God will never be second place in my life. And I won't compromise my faith. So, my friends, decide for yourself today what you're going to purpose in your heart to do. Are you going to follow Christ no matter what the cost? Or are you going to follow Christ until it becomes too hard for you, or it costs too much for you to do so? I know this is a tough subject today, and especially because of the world we live in that's so full of political correctness. But Jesus wasn't politically correct. He went against everything that, the Sanhedrin and all the people, the religious leaders of the time had, because that's exactly what they were. They were religion, and they made up rules as they went along and stuff, and it was counter, intuitive to what Jesus said, and he let them know, you are wrong. And even though I know it was God's plan for Christ to die on the cross for us, his lack of political correctness led to the cross, because people felt threatened by him. And, how far are we willing to go to stand for our faith? That's a question that we all need to think about, because one day we may have to answer that question. And if you don't have it purposed in your heart already what you're going to do, then you may do something that you will live to regret. So, my friends, I just want to thank you so much for being here with me this morning. I'm trying to get through with all my videos because it's really been raining since yesterday, and I don't want my camera to get so wet. But I just want to let you know I love you all, and I pray for all my YouTube subscribers. And so thank you for joining, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.